Hello everyone, I'm going to be starting out today's stream, the AMX 1390. Nice to see some of you guys are here already. Today I'll be doing, tank requests like usual, soloing, so feel free to request some tanks for me to play here. I'm going to be mixing in mainly the 1390 and also the Skoda T24 as well to kind of grind throughout the stream. Yeah, the last stream, William. Windows updates. I'm glad everything seems to be fine here this time, so last stream I was a little iffy on a couple things. Nice to see you guys, Labobo, Gamer, Floyd, and Will here. And Madalena, nice to see you. Hasn't really been any, as far as like news or anything on the next World of Tanks update yet, as far as what I've seen. But we should be hearing things somewhat soon as far as the next patch, as far as like super test notes, stuff like that. Bit easy. I don't want to accidentally flip myself over. Hello 23. Hey Jack, how are you doing? And nice guy. Yep. I missed that shot. Not gonna stick around much longer. That T49, why you're wanting to brawl. Not brawl, but sit right directly in front of where these guys are shooting at you. Alright. They kind of set up near their base, and they're all right in the center here. I'm gonna have to slightly tweak where I want to go here. Okay. I see where I want to be. I might get hit by this M48, but I should be safe to pop up one more notch here. M103 might fall back to try to shoot me, but we should be fairly good to move up here. It's just I'm waiting to where it's not just myself. Wouldn't make sense for me to pop into this Skoda T50 by myself. It's waiting for somebody like the Sheridan to pop around to help me. Yep. And of course it's too late now. It's like, come on guys, we can move up here. I'm not gonna round the corner into frickin' 2 tanks by myself. Just the longer we sit here, the higher chance that they're gonna move around to get shots on us. I know that this he's throwing gold out, which whatever, but better if I get the Skoda out there. T54 I knew we weren't going to be able to kill. It's just, I'm losing HP here for no reason because we're not able to frickin' push as a team. Like, the E4 is finally up to where he can start helping us. Just a little bit frustrating. Come on, accuracy. Oh my god. Some people get so lucky. I need to move myself a little bit around here because 2 tanks, the E100's close to being able to hit me. They only got 4 HP, but are basically both one-shottable against one another. Not a lot of damage here, but I definitely tried my best. to make something happen. I just kind of got stuck. Oh god, he's pointing my way. Yeah, we're actually probably gonna lose this now, to be honest. I was just confused. Like, we start pushing, they had like a light or two in front of us, and the guys that were kind of with me on the initial flank didn't really want to push for some reason. Like, seems like they were content to kind of sit there and wait it out. Nice. Gotta try to get in here. Ah, come on. I should have shot his turret with the first shot as well. That was a little bit of a mistake, which I'm going to catch up on the chat in a minute, guys. Typically, my first battle is a little hard for me to keep up. I'm worried that he's going to... Never mind. Aim back at the T-54. Lord. That didn't work. Yeah, we're kinda in a bad spot now. We're kind of screwed. Or I should say I'm screwed now. But it is what it is. I just wish we would have been able to push basically the 8-0 line a little bit faster. Basically, what kind of set me back was we were trying to push up 9-0, where their tanks were set up basically to shoot down this area. I was hoping to push through here and kind of catch them off guard. Took a little too long to make that happen, but oh well. Alright, so we have an M48A5 and a premium tank. Not too much, Jack. Same old, same old. How are things going for you? Which, top 3 damage, but really all that damage came more or less after we kind of blew it, so. Hello, Colin and Leith. And Randall. Which tank would you like for a challenge? Let me hop into the M22 here. I'm not sure. I don't even remember him hitting me well. I think the M103 killed me there at the end. I don't know. I could be wrong. Honestly, once I dropped, which hello SWAT and Casper. Honestly, once I dropped down to just myself against the 3 of them, I just, not to say I gave up, but I kind of wrote off winning at, you know. Hello, Poser. Nice to see you. Okay, you wrote it in the message. Yeah, the T-3485M. Thanks. I actually forgot about that. No, it did work there. I forgot since last stream, you know, was the first time that started out. Alright, so we got a little locust here. That FB got me. Kudos to him. kind of wish I was on a map that was a little bit more open, because the gun is kind of a little lackluster on this. Alright, they're gonna push the town. Problem with low tiers is you never know how it's gonna play out. This guy better hurry up, because the Streva 38 here is kind of everyone's prime target, especially since he just begged people to be able to kill it. Alright, why don't you just pull in front of several tanks here? That makes complete sense. I'm gonna head around this way because that guy's pushing. Oopsie daisy. Don't think that you want to do that, T2 medium. Well, low tier match here where we have a pretty big lead where I don't think that they're gonna be able to catch up to us. I might as well just take the shot here. Oopsie daisy. But M22 Locust is a pretty fun tank. Very mobile. It's a really good low tier light, just because the gun's a little bit dinky, but it's pretty accurate, and really the only thing that you gotta worry about is you don't carry a lot of shells actually. So hello, Luis. Nice to see you. Nice, Colin. I would say the IS-7 line's pretty solid through and through, so you should definitely enjoy that line. So I got a Mastery Badge second class here. Top 2 damage. The PZ best 35 just... yeah, he probably, not to call him a seal clubber, but he probably plays that tank quite a bit. But so I have a T-34 85M challenge here from Brandel. So with this I have to do 1.5 times the HP total, and damage, assist, and blocked all combined here. Of course, Levi, I don't know if you guys can hear him, he's passed out. He's snoring. So I have to do 1,050 between the 3 categories here. Which tonight, for anyone interested, I will be streaming basically Tuesday nights. I do what's called Game of the Week. We voted on it last stream, and I'll be playing Overwatch tonight. It's starting at 9 p.m. I'll do that for a couple hours, and I may open it up to where if you guys want to see a specific hero, I could play a specific one. If not, I'm just gonna kind of stick to I haven't played it in a little bit because I've been playing instead of playing Overwatch, I've been playing Destiny when I kind of want a shooter. But I'll probably stick to what I've kind of played before. But it'll be a fun stream. Overwatch is always a fun game to play. Now I'm not top tier here, so I gotta worry a little bit about my armor, but I'm hoping that I can get up to this little Overwatch area. Granted, this is not the fastest medium, so I might take a shot or two in the side here. I guess hope it's not from anything too big. I can get a couple early little spots. Nope, does not make sense for me to pop out there right now. Guy's a goner though. VK, don't die. Sorry dude, I couldn't help you earlier. It's just gun depression on this is a little bit less than what I remember. Crap. 2 SPGs and a freaking tank destroyer. This is not good, because I'm probably gonna get artied here. Thank God. Our top tier, most amount of armor, the Oni, basically just threw himself away there for nothing. This is gonna be, I don't know where exactly I want to head, to be honest. No, I can't pen him without an APCR round. It's just, you know, we don't really have anyone in the north. I can get spotted pretty easily down here if I'm not too careful. Hello, Fix-It Man, nice to see you. And MW. It's just, we're kind of, we're down by 4 tanks already, which airfield is not a very large map. I'm gonna hope that this Tiger P, which he's not, you know, kind of pops out for us, but I'm just gonna spot there just to try to help out, but you know, at this point we are kind of screwed. We really needed our Oni like in this area to kind of tank shots, but obviously that's not gonna happen. I'm gonna hope I can get a shot on this OI. Oh lord, our heavy tank number 6. Thank you, dude. Hopefully I don't kill myself. I was trying to get a shot on OI and pop out before like Artie could hit me, which fortunately Artie didn't get me, but our lovely teammate there was blocking most of my shot, which it's gonna be tough for me to get this challenge complete, to be honest. I kind of missed a few early shots and now I'm struggling to not die since I have basically no HP. Mid-tier matchmaking for you though. If you're not top tier, it can go bad quickly just because the HP, the firepower ratio typically is, you know, you die very quickly in the mid-tiers. Need one more shot. And I got the challenge complete right now, but I'm hoping we can come back from this. Come on. No. I don't think I'm gonna survive. Don't think I'm gonna survive against a T-29 here unless I get extremely. Nope, Cromwell got me. Thank you very much for the challenge here, Randall. I had to get to a little over 1,000. It was looking very iffy there at the end, but I ended up getting around 1450 or something. Yeah, that was tough to get that, but unfortunately the W kind of went right out the window when we lost those tanks very early on. But nothing I could have done about that. Like the T-34-85M, you know, it's gotten buffed within the past year, which before, you know, it was an alright premium, but nothing too special. But but nowadays it's pretty good for its tier. However, you know, I got that one big hit from the T28 HTC. Once you start seeing tier 7s, quite a few tanks, specifically tank destroyers, start getting, as far as like alpha goes, like damage per shot, they have pretty high alpha guns for shooting at pretty much tier 6s and under, to where it takes off like half your HP, sometimes even more, to where it just completely changes how you have to play, regardless of the tier 6 you're in. You know, if I was top tier there, not against, you know, 7s that could basically kill me, you know, say in about 10-12 seconds, could have played that a little bit differently, but I just kind of had to hope for the best there. But my teammates died early. Hello, Lone Wolf. Nice to see you. But that's part of the, you know, the problems with, you know, when you're moving up the tiers, the time to kill in World of Tanks, it gets a little bit longer, which I feel like as that gets longer, the game becomes a bit better, because you're not penalized as much. Sometimes, you know, you still can die from like 1 or 2 shots if you get ammo racked, or, you know, penned from, say, like a 183mm gun at tier 10, but you're penalized a little bit less for taking a risk. Whereas in the mid tiers, you can just get vaporized, you know, on a high percentage of your matches if you try to play pretty aggressively. Fortunately, we do not have the hill. Map rebalance cannot come soon enough for some maps. I didn't even try to go to the hill, to be honest, because I saw the tanks they had. They had basically a better chance, given that the northern team actually has a slightly easier route to get to as far as the hill goes. You know, they're comparable, but getting more than just, say, one tank that gets a good spawn up on the hill, the other side has a better time than we do. Or E5, I don't want to push you out there. I see the object 263. The $1 million question is if Artie's able to hit me. Very stupidly, just, yeah, there's a building there. They got a big hit on the 263. Alright, as I say, I'd rather not take that last shot, so I tried to use my repair kit. Probably should have just winged it. I'd pop over here, but they have so many like TDs. That was an already shot there. They have so many TDs over here. I gotta be careful. And even like type 5 heavy, stuff like that. He's the one spotting me here. So I'll take a slight little risk. Yeah. Seeing if I can pop the 263 there. Didn't work out. Their GW is right in that little cubby hole. I keep swapping over to a little bit of heat since there's some tanks with pretty good armor here. However, it does make shooting through the little brick walls and stuff here next to impossible unless they're destroyed for me already. But my team's losing a lot of HP, not really killing anything right now, which is a pretty big problem for us. Crap. I know I can't bounce most things, so I'm just trying to keep myself as small as possible. But yeah, we have a problem with the southern team typically has a very hard time at motivating people to take map control. I guess popped him with a HE shell since penning him isn't, you know, good chance for me compared to what he can do. Crap, I screwed up a little bit here. I don't have my shot 100% lined up here. The smoke honestly was messing me up. There's an E3. My way. Go. Oh lord. I'd say that's gonna hurt. And Artie's still aiming at me as well. Artie's been pretty much 100%. Unfortunately, I didn't track him. I'm dead. Artie's been focused on me almost the whole match, but I was trying my best there. I ended up over, you know, 2,200 damage, but like myself, the E5, unfortunately, he pushed back this way, which was not very smart. You're safer actually, you know, in this building and even here if, you know, if you can get over here. It's just if you start heading back this way, that's where they were able to shoot him, I think, coming through here. And then the tanks don't have to push on the enemy side past this little corner, and they can shoot you peeking out here. But this building's the safest building from this side, or potentially even hanging back here for, you know, just to make sure. But unfortunately, you know, we kind of got locked out from the center. We weren't able to push the 1-3 line. Weren't able to basically get to town, which you have to, from this side, you need to get a couple people here. You need to get at least one tank kind of in the buildings here, and it prevents the enemy from easily pushing up here. But unfortunately, we were just kind of late. Even though it's a small map, it's oftentimes mines, and even like airfield, because that was a small map right before this. It's pretty important to still get, you know, the spots early on in the matches, because especially for a small map, if you lose those spots early on, you're not going to get them back without, you know, having to fight directly against an enemy. And oftentimes, you know, that can be pretty risky. Your team can basically take a lot of damage trying to root an enemy out, which I'm just waiting for to end here, since this guy, yeah, I don't think he's going to pull it off, but it's holding out hope there. But basically, easier to take a spot early on in the match rather than try to push an enemy out of it. Big map, small map. Next up, I have a premium tank request. But as far as damage-wise, top 3, E100 and Type 5, I believe, were over in the town side with me. But end of the day, lost 36,000 credits. I fired like, I think 3 or 4 heat shells there, and I use a premium med kit on this one. Then most of my tier 10s, but so for a premium, I haven't played a Patriot in a while. Why don't I go with that? I was thinking the Lorraine 40T, but I'll opt in with this one. Which feel free if anybody, you know, anybody else wants to request any tanks. You know, there's not a ton of requests. You can feel free, if I get through your tank request here, feel free to request another one. Alright, tier 10 battle. I'm probably still gonna head out over on this side. Particularly, I don't necessarily want to fight a T110E3, Tortoise, T95, and possibly their 2 tier 9 heavies over on the peninsula. Good chance they're gonna head over there. Not, you know, 100%, but The Centurion Action X is going to be a problem with, honestly, this tank. I'm able to pen his cupola, but since the turret front got buffed, it's going to be a little bit difficult if he's fighting on the hill well here for me to be able to damage him. So far so good. The Centurion didn't push up. Gotta be careful with him. He's got a lot of burst damage. I was rushing that. I shouldn't have rushed that. I thought he was gonna turn earlier. Let's just get him tracked. Closer he gets to the hill here, the more cover he gets. So I was hoping to get him stuck out there, but gonna go. There's no arty, so I can be a little bit more lax with how far I push up here. If there's arty, I wouldn't be sitting here. At least not still. I'd still be pushing up. I wouldn't be pushing up as early while they can see me here. Oh Lord. I shouldn't even shot that, to be honest. Easy 7 challenge? Sure thing. Alright, we're far enough up here to where I can... Oops. Like this thing, it has pretty decent accuracy, but I usually don't bank on shooting this far away typically. Our 140 very stupidly pushed in by himself on a T110E3. Hopefully that doesn't come back to bite us. We are up by 4 tanks, but I'm just kind of looking at the peninsula. It's still debatable. It's what, 4v4 still over there, or 4v5 in their favor. But we should be fine as long as we can continue to push up here. He should be a goner. 4BNG is a problem. Trying to go. Get this guy a little bit off his game. Like right now, what I see from our side, awesome. He's got an ammo rack. That makes a huge difference. What I see now is basically, if I was pushing into, say, the Centurion Action X and whatnot, I would more or less be, you know, pushing directly into someone that can pen me, unless I sit behind the train tracks. So I went a little bit different there. That way I'd be able to get a couple shots off without taking direct damage. Alright, he's actually going to pop up over here. Give him a little tickle there. Why are you shooting me? Take that. But part of the problem with the Patriot, it's a very good tank. Is once you start fighting 9s and 10s, the alpha is a little bit low. It's still a very good tank for a premium, but more or less you're gonna run into problems with, you know, tier 9s and 10s. They're not gonna fear getting shot by you. if they have a lot of HP, just because it's not like you're able to take like huge chunks off of them at a time. Typically I would go on the cap, but I'm pretty confident that even if I die here, I'll be able to more or less delay them long enough to allow this one guy to cap out. As long as he stays on the cap, we're fine. If he gets off the cap, then that's where we're in a bit of a... okay, bit of a pickle. Now I'm in a little bit of a bad spot now. I thought the E3 was not gonna... thank you. Not gonna come around. Oh, stop moving. Here we go. Take me for a swim. Uh-oh. Yeah, this is not good. Not good. He's not drowning, but I am. Didn't want to drown myself, but there we go. Ended up doing 3,600 damage. Hello, Coma and Mojo. Nice to see you. But that was a pretty good match there in the Patriot, especially for a tier 10 battle. We got ourselves a Mastery Badge First Class. Not bad at all. Yeah, top damage on my team. Beat out by the T110 E3 on their team. Just by a hair, but for a tier 10 battle, no complaints here. But all in all, let me yeah, save my... I probably would have, you know, I would have taken some damage there, but I don't think he would have been able to kill me by the time my teammate got there. I just shouldn't have went into the water because I kind of got myself stuck and I couldn't reverse out. Alright, so let me set up. Alright, added some Levi biscuits into the shop here. But pretty nice match there. I know I did enough drowning. Yeah, I remember that. Alright, so we'll do a PZ7 challenge here. I actually need credits. That I keep sprinkling a little bit of premium tanks if I have a pick. Because I'm going to be purchasing the Skoda, which this is going to be a deluxe challenge here from Labobo. So I've got to do 2.5 times the HP total of damage. But I'm going to be buying the AMX 13105 and also the Skoda T25 here soon. So these credits are going to go by really fast. Oh, hey, little dog. Which I noticed, if anyone here watching the stream hasn't, if you haven't gone over to the stream website for the stream currency, I just posted a link into the shop. If you go there, clicking that link, there's a new update with the chatbot here. If you click the check your coins, it's on the right. You link your YouTube account, you'll show up on basically the leaderboards and stuff. It has the top 100 as far as like watch time and also the stream currency, to where, you know, it's just something if you like tracking stuff and whatnot. A lot of people show up as anonymous there just because they haven't logged in yet to that site. I've got to get to 6,250 damage, assist, and blocked all combined here. It's going to be a little bit of a challenge, to be honest. I would say I'm going to be getting hit by a lot of APCR shells, I would say, plus artillery. And of course we have someone that isn't playing. I think the E100 particularly. Or maybe our GW. Want to get here, but I might take a hit. And we lost a 121 already. Yep, there's a heat shell. I pretty much, not to say give up hope, but I expect tier 10 only matches like this for people to fire almost pure gold in anything with armor. If you're in a light tank or something, I expect to get hit by like 50% of the shells being gold. Don't necessarily want to get shot here, but if we can take out that guy, that's going to help out a lot. Blew my repair kit, but that is what it is. He's taking a lot of damage. I'm kind of sticking my neck out there for him. As long as they don't hit me on my side here, I'm not entirely immune, because we just lost that flank over there. Not entirely immune to the heat shells getting chucked out, but safe enough to make it. Okay. Bit of a angle to him. Thank you. Knew if I wait it long enough, he'd point himself back. I'm actually over angled now. I'm gonna take shots unless he. Whew, he hit my gun there. Thank God, he missed my side. All right, screw it. I gotta switch over to APCR now. I was mainly looking. Honestly, we haven't run into like their super conquerors yet, but just looking at their team makeup, they have a lot of tanks that typically people chuck, like the Mouse, T57, Super Conqueror, IS-7, Bat Chat. You see a lot of people throw, and even the 183, but fortunately we got him out early. You see a lot of people throw almost pure gold out of those things, which had me fearing pushing out. Awesome. Guess I'm just gonna sit here and oh, how the hell is he penning me? Like he's throwing freaking gold APCR, which you know that tank it needs a little bit of a leg up with how much it has against it and the playability as far as ease of play, but come on guys. It's gonna take them a longer time to push on me from my right than it will Bat Chat. Determined to get this challenge, but I screwed up here. If the Bat has a shell left, I'm done. The Mouse on my right. Can I get my turret back in time? I think I just barely got past the challenge here. Hello, Trung, nice to see you. I had to get the 6,250, and I think I got over that by a bit. Most of it was from block damage, but it doesn't help that our team, like they lost 3 tanks here pretty early on, but they're all fighting against one another. That, you guys know my stance on that, where if you die, unless like someone's like team killing or doing something, just ping them once if you think they should be doing something different. But if you start freaking bitching people out, then it usually just ruins a team, because then people are more focused on reading the chat, yelling at one another. Obviously they're a little bit distracted because But anyway, I tried my best there. Damage wise, I only made it into the top 4, but experience wise a little bit higher because I was spotting my own damage. This guy, obviously 9,000 damage. I would say he fired pure APCR the entire match out of that thing, but it's part of the game. I fired what I think like 3 APCR shots out of that, but it's just using it against not using it. In that case, like I started with standard, honestly it wouldn't have changed the outcome there, which I guess all the power to people that fire 100% of it. Thanks, Lil Bobo. You almost had me there. I was worried, but you know, I definitely wasn't just poking my front out there to say rack up block just for the hell of it. My goal was, there's that E5 behind me. He did a crap ton of damage to that FV-183. I was trying to have them shoot me and he could poke out a little bit more, which worked for a little bit, but you know, eventually he got enough hits there that he died. But just trying to take one for the team there. Anyway, I have the M46 Patton here, my newest tank. I'm gonna see if I can get my nope. Thanks a whole lot. Not the JPZ is the one that pinned me, but the IS-3 is the one that didn't move at all. As I say, do I still want to push here? What the hell, I'll still do it. So get myself into some trouble and get up in this area. This used to be the safer route of the two, but nowadays it's safer to go straight up the 1-2 line. So far so good, which I thought I would have had it by this stream, but oh lord, I feel bad for that if he gets hit. But I think come the next stream, maybe I'm just looking at all the enemy tanks here and I'm like, crap. I might be changing how challenges work a little bit. I think for the better. As far as what I plan on doing here is why did I wait for that shot? It's gonna be the same as far as I might lower the cost a little bit. More or less, it's gonna be the same, you know, two times, 2.5 times, whatnot for challenges. But I'm looking to kind of have a, not to say like a leaderboard, but something to where if you win a challenge, you get basically your name up on a board. Kind of what was behind me for Halloween. But I gotta get something on the wall first. I'm not putting like tacks into my wall. If that makes any sense. I still need to iron out like the complete details, but essentially instead of winning back say like double the Levi biscuits, you'll win back the same amount if you win, plus you know you'll get up kind of on for each time you win, not just a one-time thing. But just something a little bit different. If it doesn't go over well, I'll switch it back to what it is now. Okay, we're pushing finally. I shouldn't get myself into these deep thoughts while I'm playing, because I'm like sitting here like, why haven't I gotten hit by Artie yet? And that's because there is no Artie. Yeah. Think I'm safe here. Whacked him with a HE shell. Prima Victoria is my problem here. Whoop, never mind. T10 is now my problem. They're pushing on the base, but they don't have someone right up in this area to kind of help spot the TDs that are hitting them. Oh Lord, I needed to hit that. Go, 1-2 punch. Yes, something like that, Lavobo. And it's gonna... Ryan kind of vetoed, which I get it. Basically the area behind me, it's supposed to be a closet, but honestly the people before us, they basically turned 3 closets that were in this room and also the room behind me, which is like basically the front door area, into one here, and they like completely screwed it up. So we had to fix it, and we still need to, like, you know, add doors and stuff back into it and shelving. So that's why it's just a blank area behind me. She kind of vetoed putting anything in there, which I get it, but I'm gonna be putting it up in front of me here. I don't think she wants the entire office room here to be like decorated 100% of the time, outside of, like, say, like holidays and stuff. Yep, I shot too high there. Even with standard AP, penning the cupola is actually not a surefire thing too. But we got a nice little win here. 2,400 damage, about 800 assist. Got a Mastery Badge third class, Confederate Award, top 4 damage. Their Super Conqueror did a good job, but you know, outside of him and the Conway that was sitting back sniping, had a tough time getting some damage there for their team. So next up, I have a Levi pick. I'm gonna hop into this Skoda T24 here, and let me start a raffle while I'm at it too. Since I had that Ace Tanker, or not Ace Tanker, the Mastery Badge First Class, it's gonna be 800 Levi biscuits for the winner here. Keep in mind, you know, if you're a sponsor, you can use the custom emoji to add, you know, to the raffle whenever I have an Ace or a First Class match. For anyone who wasn't around for the last stream. And if I drown myself or flip myself over, feel free to use the Cody tomato emoji. I wish I could get it bigger because it looks hilarious if it's full size. Tier 6 is to deal with. I'm just gonna plop myself in the center and go from there. Which seems to be everybody's tactic, so let me change this a little bit. I don't necessarily want to get myself somewhere where I'm always spotted and like close up to enemies, but hey, if they're all sitting in the center, our team's more or less at a huge disadvantage if we have nobody in the 1-2 line. That's not very nice to say, Wolf. But yeah, he's a snorer. Yes, I am starting the medium line here, SWAT. Once I get through the AMX 1390, I'll be starting 1 to 2 more lines as well. We already lost one tank right off the get-go. There's so many tanks in the frickin' center here. We don't have a scout spotter. It's not a good combination. I don't have Sixth Sense, so I'm like, is anyone gonna shoot me? Who knows? Just weighing risk and reward. I don't think that, like, their KV2's over there. It's just I don't think that their Hellcat will necessarily push here, which unfortunately, I guess made that big mistake there. Hopefully I don't die running away here, but speaking from earlier where I was talking about mid-tier's time to kill being low, unfortunately, yeah, I pretty much lost all my HP in one shot and can't push, can't do anything now except for hope this M4 doesn't push in and one-shot me now. It's just, you know, it sucks in a way playing mid-tiers to where you're penalized a bit with as far as the HP to firepower. But should I have done that? No, that wasn't the smartest move for me, but regardless of the outcome here, I was trying to do the best for my team and I'm gonna die now. I don't think I'll be able to get this M4 and the PZ3J out because he's gonna hit me here to PZ3. Yeah. Oh well. That was a short-lived match, but this is the reason why, you know, I don't mind playing mid-tiers. It's just sometimes it's definitely, it makes me want to just sit back and, you know, not to say chai snipe, but basically just sit back and play it safe every single match, which I think kind of is, not to say boring, but alright, dog. It's getting pretty loud over there. But anyway, on to the next tank here, the KB-85. I'm just still waiting for one of these days when Wargaming basically, like, for the past year they've strictly rebalanced, you know, basically one line at a time. Congratulations, William, on winning the raffle. When it comes to tier 8 to 10, you know, pretty much every single rebalance that they've done has been those tiers, and they just haven't, you know, they need to do something to the other tiers, because I get that they're catering to, you know, kind of the players that have been around for a long time, because most play tier 8 to 10, but, you know, if you're not getting people to push through those mid tiers because they're not having a very enjoyable time, then you got yourself a problem. And I feel like it's a little short-sighted too, because I used to love playing, you know, basically tier 5 through 8 mainly, and, you know, tier 10 and 9 and 8, like 8's, you know, I mainly ground for premiums, but tier 9 and 10 I still enjoyed playing them for like competitive reasons. You know, it's a little bit more competitive at those tiers, but I still played more mid tiers because I found them to be, you know, change of pace, pretty fun, and you have a lot of different tanks in the mid tiers that, you know, some are funky, you know, are not always good, but they're still pretty fun to play. Hello Dennis, nice to see you. You type exclamation point request, press space, and then type a tank you would like to see me play. If you don't know what tanks I have, there's a link in my video description beneath, right here. It says tank request list, has every tank I have that you can request on it. A trinity of Russian tanks. Okay, let's... get myself in trouble here. I have a couple mediums, but I don't think that they're gonna be over here. Still got time to get across. Hopefully leading my team to greatness here. The KV-85 has a problem with not being able, that's as far as its gun points down. Not being able to point its gun down. That's a very big problem in this tank. Plus the armor is not so hot. I'm hoping getting up here, as long as they don't come behind me, I should be able to trade shots here somewhat effectively. Just the whole not being able to point your gun down thing. I can't stay too close to the cover here. Yep, that's a problem. Alright. The KV-5 has a lot of firepower, but it does lack the comfort of actually being able to point your gun at a tank at close range. Trying not to... I kind of got snubbed here as far as position. Come on. If you want to take the brunt of the force, or brunt of the damage, be my guest. Just please take out that KV-2 for all of our sakes. Hello Marga and Yosef, nice to see you. Crap, T-67 of course. Come on. Those things. They should be fine against the T-150. I hope I'm right. If he takes out... There we go. If he takes out 2 to 3 of our tanks, we have a problem. You know, we are tied here, technically. They still have a T-29 that's... He's camping really far back. Near their base. Oh, that too. He still shouldn't be camping, to be honest. He should be up in the fight. Crap. Our KV-1 out. Okay, this is not... Oh god, my gun. Really want to kill this guy. Oh, are you kidding me? I know the T-67's over here. Which, oh, we just kind of blew it. So now their TDs are going to turn around and try to get shots on me, I feel like. Come on, kill that T-67. Oh, God. How can you be so lucky in such an evil tank? At least they killed their 2 TDs there. There we go. We're in a much better spot now. I believe all the rewards are random, if I'm not mistaken. But take a shot at him. But yeah, the main thing about playing the KV-85 is honestly don't rely on your armor too much, but just keep in mind that your gun does not point down very well. So I've just kind of ping-ponged to where I'm able to get decent shots, but I have to poke out of cover a little bit more than I would like. But it's worked out so far. Except for there. Come on, kill him. There we go. Hello, Abdul. Nice to see you. Hope you're having a good day. This guy's probably gonna drown himself, honestly. Honestly, T29s that don't have the 90mm, you gotta get that thing before you go onto the T29. It's, yeah, it's a sin to use a 76mm on it. But got a Mastery Badge 2nd class. Damage goes, top 3 damage. That's not bad at all. Pretty straightforward there. We had a good chance at losing that if their TDs broke through near our base, but fortunately our guys back there and our Artie, I believe, kind of held them off. Get some more reserves going. I got the T26E4 Super Pershing up here next. Oopsie daisy, I actually have a crew skill. I need to... let's go with repairs. Yeah, it's pretty late, 10 p.m. See, now daylight saving time's over. You know, I'm what, 13 hours behind instead of 12? Man, Levi is not doling out biscuits this morning as far as coin goes. Maybe it's because he's sleeping. Not to say I yelled at him, but I typically, when I, you know, right before I'm streaming, I give him a little treat. He's all happy and everything, but he kept coming back like 2 or 3 times before I went live here. And I'm like, no, dog, like, I can't keep giving them to you. Like, he's trying to give me the little puppy eyes. Didn't work. But I think he's content with sleeping here. It's gonna be raining for most of the day here, and yesterday him and I raked about, I'd say, maybe 200 pounds of leaves. I have so many freaking leaves in my neighborhood here. Yeah, it was a lot. Took me like 3-4 hours. He wasn't very helpful. Anyway, got tier 9 match here. I'm gonna put myself over on this side instead of trying to bash my head through, you know, the area that's a little bit more dangerous, but dangerous can also happen very quickly up here, which it's looking like that's the case, so I'm not going to be able to push as far as I'd like here. More or less, they have an M46, AMX 1390 that could come up here, a CDC, T44, and whatever other tanks decide to make their way over this way. Nobody knows Marga, to be honest. They haven't announced, but more or less, you know, if they ever remove a tank, you're gonna get the tank that replaces it. If it's in the tech tree still said tank, typically you keep it. More or less, like if I had to guess, at this point everyone is just guessing. I believe that the tier 8 that they're removing, or the tier 7 that they're moving down, they're going to turn it into a premium tank, to where they're going to remove it from the game for a patch or 2, rebalance it, put it back in to where you won't get it for free, but the tank that replaces it in its tier, you will get. I'm not exactly safe here in the least bit, but I'm hoping that me tying up at least 3 of their tanks right now, make that 4, is going to be beneficial to my team. Unfortunately, the Super Persian, its weak spots are pretty easy to hit. Like, honestly, like the APCR for the T-44 helps him, but I'm just gonna wiggle a lot here and hope for the best. Which the Cairnavon is not shooting at my... Yep, that's not good. He's not shooting at my turret, which I guess over-angled there and let him hit me. But yeah, I don't think I'm gonna make it out of this. But, oh well. I ended up doing 1200 damage, 1500 blocks, 1600 assists. I carried more than my weight. It's just unfortunate that didn't have... Well, the Strove 103 unfortunately flipped over, which sucks. But unfortunately, we needed one more guy up there with me. But typically I would push into this area. I didn't do that just because this was a little bit safer. In hindsight, though, I should have sat behind this rock specifically. This one's a little bit too far back to where your TDs get spotted, but I could have sat here. Still think we're going to get a W, to be honest, though. It's just, you know, I could have gotten more damage if I played a little safer. But I'm perfectly content with matches like that. Yeah, they're quick, and, you know, you don't get, say, like, ace tankers and stuff with them, but I help my team out. I'll definitely take a win if I get a little bit less damage and stuff from it. If I went south, honestly, I wouldn't have been able to do much down there. You know, not the fastest tank. I would have been, you know, just behind our front push and wouldn't really gotten anything. Hello, Scud. Nice to see you. Honestly, I don't think they'll do another Russian medium line at this point. The only news I hear about new lines, Polish tanks are supposed to come early next year. At the very earliest, right before the holidays here, but it should be early next year. Russia apparently has a, I don't know if it's a full line or not, or just like a tier 9-10 or tier 8-9-10 line, but when they're moving around the IS-4, potentially, and also the T-10 they're talking about, they do have in the works a 3rd Russian heavy tank line for the tech tree, which, you know, I'm fine with. People scream Russian bias all the time, but they're just catering to their largest player base. Nothing wrong with that. As far as like adding tanks in and premium tanks, people just have to accept that at this point. And Russian tanks aren't better than other nations, looking at the whole picture. There's also, I forget what else. Oh, the next patch coming out here. There's no concrete, you know, super test notes for it, but it should be the new mini branch for the French heavy tanks. Essentially think like the tier 8 AMX M449, I believe its name is. There should be that mini branch. That should be the next patch, because that's been super tested already and is pretty much complete. I was not going to go north in this thing because TD's sitting right outside our base, not doing anything. We're not going to be able to push with the tanks that are left to push. Crap. I did not want to be seen because that Sheridan just stopped dead in his tracks, which fortunately he did not hit me because I was a little bit late responding to that. I'm gonna take my little victory there and run away here. That was his shot. 13105 is not in a good spot for that tank. Doesn't have gun depression to be able to shoot without being shot back there. Okie dokie. I need to get out from here. Can I get by? You don't necessarily like me doing this, but not too comfortable with taking shots from here anymore. Enemy knows that we're there. They're not just gonna, you know, keep popping out for us to hit them like that. BK's pushing up now, so be a little bit of a problem. Come on, guys. They didn't move at all. They actually moved to make it easier for them to push through. Now the Ferdinand's gonna get me. Yeah, this is all gonna come falling apart here. Yep. My engine's knocked out. Or not knocked out, but essentially knocked out. Yeah. No. This is not gonna go. Nope. Oh well. We're still up by 2 tanks. Did 1600 damage. It's just, yeah. I didn't get help from these guys because they were a little tied up in A5. There was a couple enemies. And they need to be a little bit further over that way. But hopefully we get a win out of this. As long as they push through their base, we should be fine, but yeah. At least we got a W on the Super Persian match. Thoughts on the FE217 Badger? Yeah, that may be coming out the next patch too, but you know, the main thing I have against that tank is it honestly looks like a good tank. Basically, you're gonna get a Tortoise with a better gun and without the top weak spots, more or less. So what isn't the like about that? It's still going to be a little bit slow. The size is a bit big for it. And alpha-wise, you know, the alpha's... It's low for a tier 10 TD, but honestly, I think that tier 10 TDs, there's too many 750 damage gun ones. They should switch it up, which changing to Object 263 that they have planned for, that removes another non-750 damage gun. But, you know, I think it's going to be better. You know, it's kind of like the Super Conqueror change to where it's going to be better than the tank replacing it as far as performance goes. The gripe I have against it is removing the, if they remove it from the tech tree completely, which it looks like they're doing, the FE215B 183, they're removing a tank that is a real tank. Honestly, performance-wise, it's clunky, but, you know, it's balanced in a sense to where it's not as good as when it first came out because it was a little bit overpowered. Basically higher damage Hesh rounds with more pen. I think it was higher damage. If not, it had a lot more penetration on its Hesh. But more or less, you know, removing that, because that's a tank that there's tons of videos, promotional stuff out about that tank. It's removing a tank that, you know, is kind of iconic to where the other tanks they replaced, the fake FE215B Heavy, and the Foch, you know, 155, which, you know, really they just switched the gun on that. They're different stories to where nobody really batted an eye at that. But as far as the Badger replacing the 183, it'll be a good change as far as gameplay and performance goes for those that have that line. Which in other news, I saw, I believe it was the Chieftain talking about it, to where the Badger name is technically not correct for this specific tank that they're implementing. It's not a real tank in the sense of it was built, I believe, but it did go through the design and like a proposal phase to where it was meant to be the successor for the Tortoise, but I don't think it was actually built. But the name Badger is kind of made up, I believe, by Wargaming, which it makes it sound better. But I forget what name he said should have been used. I forget. Well, you should keep the 183. Yes, fix it, man. What I was kind of saying there is, they're most likely right now their plan for the 183 line is to remove that from the standard tech tree, so no one else will be able to get it, which is kind of their flavor of the year model for get people to use free experience, get premium accounts, which this is a pretty long queue here for, maybe it's trying to do a 30v30 battle, but it screws over people that can't get to the tank, or start playing the game and see these videos of the FV183 and they're not able to get it anymore. Hello Gary, nice to see you. That's all good, SWAT. But as far as the change in general, I'm fine with it. I just think what I would do, it doesn't make sense business wise essentially, but they could just switch to 183 and make it branch off of the Conway and kind of have that and the FV4005 stage 2 on that line. I could see that, or just branching it off of the Tortoise still. Hello Pesmed over on Twitch. I see that you're in both chats here now. This is a very long time for a match. I'm hoping that these tanks that they're kind of making special tier 10s, as far as like they're not true premium tanks. I hope that they allow people to get them with bonds. They're testing the waters with the next Clan Wars campaign, to where instead of doling out free reward tier 10 premiums, they're more or less giving people the rewards with bonds, lots of bonds from winning the campaign, participating, whatnot, and opening up the option for people to buy previous reward Clan Ward vehicles with those bonds, or you can keep the bonds, bank them, buy equipment. I think giving people options is better than not, to where I hope that eventually, like, they have plans for having bonds being obtainable by people not doing, say, Clan Wars or the rank battles. You see that with getting them from tier 10 battles and random battles, and also getting medals now, to where I hope that they open up the rewards for bonds to more than just getting improved equipment, the directives that probably nobody uses. I could see that being a good option for them. The grind getting to the 183 is a little bit tough, yes. I would say once the Top Gun on the AT-15 comes around for you, it starts becoming better. But the tanks before that, they're not necessarily underpowered. They just don't really fit into the current play of the game, because they don't have enough alpha to kind of, plus they can't really brawl. They're kind of meant for like long range snipers with armor, which is kind of counterintuitive. Getting myself a little bit too far out here for the help that I have, but Yeah, so I'm getting hit from the hill. Our 1-2 line, if they start pushing hard, you know, this will be fine for us in the town, but as of this moment, a little bit of, I'm hoping I don't get hit from the right here. A little bit of problems with not taking damage here. If I turn right, this guy, he's keeping an eye on me. But I know the pen on his gun is able to get me. Okay, maybe he's not gonna go. Crap, Type 4. What are you doing to me? Yeah, this is gonna suck now. Don't have gun depression on my back. I've got to get... Yeah, I screwed up here. Big time. Oh, my gun's knocked out now. Can't even fire if I wanted to. But he's able to pen... There we go. He's able to pen me, which I'm down to 18 HP. Very easily. Come on, guys. Artie's able to end me here. The Type 4 is moving to where I can... Ooh, probably scoot by here. My plan, at least. Oh lord, that was close. So some ammo racked, I have a damaged gun. We're just... Our team was never able to really push where we had most of our tanks, unfortunately. We're still up by, you know, tanks, but at least one. I wouldn't really call myself 100% right now though, with the modules I have out and the HP I have left. This one splash shot from that Type is gonna end me. What do I get? I'm gonna go with my ammo rack. I'm a little bit lucky there. I definitely screwed up. I should not have taken that much damage, but I was trying to rush it. Thank you, AT-15. I knew how I should have, you know, got to that spot that I did, but I went about it the least safe way, so not aiming my way. Fortunately for us, our team was able to kind of rebound. Nice. I should have loaded HE. I just don't want to be seen here. It's just cutting it close because the bushes run out. Oh, why did you do that, T-32? I guess you're forgiven. Nope, I'm spotted now. They still have a PZ-7, an SPG somewhere, a T-54 lightweight. We have a lot of low HP tanks. Oh lord. Please kill that SPG. Uh-oh. I'm gonna have to be the one to hit him. It's just I have a heat shell loaded. I couldn't shoot through that little stockade there. all about keeping options open for us, which pushing a bunch of low HP tanks it's just, they're all pushing into frickin' death here. I don't have too many options here, to be honest. I have to try to help them. It's just I don't want to get out here, which I guess had to do. This T-28 can pen me, and now I'm probably gonna die too. It's just, we could have played that differently, and instead, like, I shouldn't have even tried to help him, to be honest. It just, I hate, like, we haven't lost this yet, but we're getting very close. Like, nobody cares if you almost got a Top Gun STB-1. It's just, they're not playing this smart. They're playing to try to kill them, which hopefully this guy is able to kill this T-28. Nope. But I'm not even gonna type that. The gun was just affecting the accuracy, so that's why I went with the ammo rack at the time. But honestly, at this point, it's just, yeah, that's kind of all of our fault, but should have just capped the ones that had low HP. The other guys push up and kind of stall them. We could have won before the PZ-7 could get back to the base, and the T-28 wouldn't have been able to get to us with the tanks if we kept them alive. So unfortunately, that's a very frustrating loss, but again, it goes to show you why you shouldn't chase kills when you have no freaking HP on your team. We only had one tank that had, you know, basically could take 2 shots without dying. The rest of us were either 200 HP or less. That's a little frustrating. But anyway, on to the Object 140. I hate losing those matches. If you couldn't tell. But there's probably people that would disagree with me as far as I should have pushed and done something a little bit more. But it just doesn't make sense when you have 18 HP. You have, what, 3 other guys that were one-shottable, and they didn't have any armor. IS-4 debatable whether I can block stuff too. But it's just, yeah. Most people play just team deathmatch every single time instead of factoring in that you can cap. So it is what it is. I'm going to be heading south here, even though, you know, right now I'm kind of looking at our team versus their team. And at least I have a 260 coming with me. It's just there's going to be very few people down here. But at the same time, if they send, say like they send a Super Conqueror, T-57, 50B, they have a little bit more speed on their team than we do. Which unfortunately we have people shooting each other. Great. That's a good start. Oh, I know. There's a lot of roll 15s this time. I'm not liking that it's just me and the 260. At least the Kronwagen's up here now. I can... There's nothing there yet. Doesn't mean that nobody's on this side. Because they could have gotten up here before I spot it. Doesn't look like any of the walls are broken. Yeah, they did not push past this corner here. But I was playing that safe, but at the same time, if there's no enemies here, you can't frickin' sit and wait forever. Because our team is now down a lot of tanks, because not all of our tanks pushed in. He's saying that somebody's there. I'm not seeing anybody. There's a grill. Oopsie daisy. Yeah. I'm in a little bit of a pickle now. I'm able to get hit from the front, back, right side here, and the girl got me. Oh well, it did not work out too well for me. I knew I should have held my shot and went for the TD. I could have hit him, but I was a little bit too far ahead of myself there. Strictly speaking, the Super Conqueror. I should have, not to say I should have been back where this 260 is, but I should have, instead of pushing to this rock, when I saw the grill run this way, I should have ran and helped take out the Super Conqueror first, but which this guy's doing now. At least I helped move the flank up, but that was a little bit of a mistake. I tend to do that. I get myself into a spot where I'm not able to get myself out of. So the IS-4, yeah, match of course, we ended up losing that unfortunately. But yeah, didn't have the most amount of damage. I could have gotten a little bit more, but unfortunately the PZ-7 just kind of wrapped us up there at the end. That's not your fault, Livovo. But yeah, I had my luck stacked against me there. I shouldn't have pushed up against... I knew that there was going to be more than just a grill back there. They couldn't have left it completely open. It's like they didn't push anyone on our flank, you know, of course, but very rarely does a team leave nobody at the base as well. But anyway, on to the T62A. Another tier 10 match. This time, lots of TDs and arties still. Team-wise, you know, matchmaking, you know, balances them now. It's just, it seems like today there's a lot of high alpha tanks running around, which over the years, you know, the game keeps, especially at high tiers, alpha keeps going up, and tanks with, you know, 400, you know, I would even say 400 damage guns is low alpha now at tier 10. Like before, a lot of the mediums, like the Russian ones, having 320 damage a shot, that was considered low alpha. Now I would say pretty much any tank with 400 damage or less at tier 10 is a low alpha tank. Like you have a couple at 440, like the IS-4 I believe is at 440 damage. That's, yeah, it's still considered low because you have so many TDs, heavies, and yeah, not that the Chinese mediums have high alpha, but it's above 400 to where, you know, it's low compared to what you're going to be coming across in the grand scheme of things. Sorry, Marga. I'll say it is only, what, a 48 or 49% chance of winning. I had a feeling already was going to hit me, but just trying to spot for my team, even though they're all going to that one flank, which unfortunately, take like our TDs, the Strub 103B, JPZ 100, putting yourself over there, you're not that useful compared to putting yourself in the 1-2 line. You really restrict the amount of the map that you can shoot at, and it's not like you can push up past where the flag is without having the center area here. I don't want to get derped, but that's unfortunately what happened to me. Unfortunately here, with this T62A, I'm playing where I don't want to play. I was just looking to spot there, but I was looking to help kind of push the 1-2 line. Unfortunately, someone's got to be in this area, or else everyone on the hill on your team is pretty much useless. The hill necessarily, or not necessarily, isn't meant to fight the hill front or head on. I'm getting tongue tied. But more or less the hill, its role is to kind of take out the center here early on, which if you don't have anyone spotting it, everyone on your hill they're not able to push, they're not able to shoot the center, so it's pretty useless. But my team, I guess, you know, is fine with not being able to do anything. Like, I'm sticking my neck out, which, as you can see here, was not smart, but someone's got to do something. They don't even know where to shoot. Like, right here, there's 2 or 3 buildings in a line with some bushes in them. If you're on the hill, you can fire straight down them and damage anyone that's there. But at this point, I'm getting a little bit sick of my team here, because this is going to be a blowout. I'm not able to peek over there because there's so many things with HE guns. As far as already, there's the Type 5, there's their FE4005. They're the ones that have damaged me this match. I haven't taken damage from any other tank, I believe, outside of just HE chuckers. It's unfortunate, but I think you jinxed me here by saying Russian tanks were going to get me an ace tanker. I don't even know why I'm running over here, because this is not going to be safe for too long. Hello, Monis. Yes, it's called World of Tanks. Fortunately, right now, this is World of shooting fish in a barrel when it comes to our team. I'm just gonna keep running back and forth here until, yeah. You know it's bad when a Strev 103B is pushing on your team. Come on. Thanks for tipping Levi a biscuit. I don't even think I'm gonna get damaged this match at this point. I could start chucking heat out, but there's not much of a point at this point for that. Luckily, we're only down by 1 tank. It's just, if they push up the 1-2 line, this is all gonna crumble. Oh crap, their Type 5 just... Thank you. That actually makes it a lot easier for us oh god, right now. Rajesh, you just need to drop your quality from 1080p down to 720p. This means that you're not able to buffer and download fast enough with your connection. Now we're at the point where our JPZs aren't able to fire over the train tracks. I'm kind of, not to say I want to just kill myself here, but I've been at that point for a while. It's just, ammo isn't gonna matter when he's gonna get spotted instantly. It's just, went about this a little bit wrong. Nope, 0 damage. No, I'm still alive. We're still in this, but holy crap, I got a shot. And now I'm dead. But that was just painful, honestly, for me to drive around like that. It's just, I don't see where else I could have gone. I could have went to the hill, but then nobody would have been in the center. If I stuck with my initial plan being over on the 2-3 line a little bit more, I already had people kind of in the center spotting where I was going to be spotting from. It's just, yeah. The only other thing I could have done was just sit in the back, kept my HP until later on in the match, but I'm not about playing like that, because more or less my team would have just died anyway, but I would have just been able to get some more damage off in the end. Nice one, poser. Hello, bud. You got a tip. But yeah, if it ever, you know, has trouble loading, more or less it just comes down to I stream at a pretty high bit rate for some connections, or if you're on like a mobile or a Wi-Fi connection, where just dropping it down from, you know, the highest quality down one notch fixes it for like 99% of the times. Not even just on YouTube, but also on, you know, Twitch. All right. Patriots getting pushed backwards. We're gonna be light over here. I hope my team knows how to push. I see a lot of times, like right now we have TDs heading towards the edge of the map near the water. Typically not best spot for TDs, I find. It's just, you can get spotted pretty easily in G1 if the enemy starts spotting you from here, to where typically you have your tanks that are going to be pushing along the edge here since it's the safest area. However, usually as a TD I would stay a little bit more towards the center, because you can get shots here and you can shoot a little bit different at a different angle there, to where people are at the base, which fortunately they just got that AT-15 out, but it leaves you with more options available. So hopefully they're able to push this hard now, because it looks like at this point, okay, there's a Scorpion G. I'm not gonna die for free. I'm just gonna spot and turn around. But it looks at this point that they don't have anyone at their base. They just took out all three, fortunately for us. But they've got to be very careful that they don't get stuck basically in the 4 line. That worked out better than I expected though. Rajesh, please only request 1 tank at a time now. I put up your Kronwagen request. If I get through to Kronwagen and there's not a lot of requests still, you know, feel free to add another one, but I just do 1 per person at a time. And I've warned you quite a few times about that, so if you do it, you know, if you keep doing it, I'm just gonna honestly ignore them. I hate to sound mean, but it's been a couple streams now. Like, I keep a very close eye on chat, but you know, if you abuse that a little bit, you know, I'm not gonna look the other way forever. Hoping that I already get some good hits here. Whoa, 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 don't get too close to me. I'll go for the chance to hit 2 tanks. You should start backpedaling a little bit here. The E100 will get high enough here where we can shoot him in the side. Uh-oh, do you have a repair kit? Yes, you do. Okay. Don't want to sit here, guys. Sorry, man. You got stuck on me. I haven't really accomplished anything yet, but oh yeah, 1 damage, assist damage there. What it's all about. It's hit him for 1 damage now, that T30. I'm just raking into stats here. Up that by 50. I'm not even confident that APCR here is going to get through this guy, but there we go. I need to hit him in the lower glacis. Uh-oh. They be pushing. I think our Artie might want to move back a pinch here. Oh, we don't have a spotter now. Many trees. Hopefully they don't see me knocking my trees down, but they probably will. I know what I'm doing here. I have run away many of times from this flank, where the IS-3 still might be able to spot me, but unless he hits me with his first shot, I'll be safe, because it starts diving back towards the A1 water here. Because the question is whether or not that IS-3 pushed down all the way or not. Go. Hey Artie, stop. They keep freaking typing stuff to me like, you're in a bad spot, you're in a good spot. Like, just freaking press the T button on where you're aiming. That's all you need to do as an SPG. E button, ping the map if you think someone's gonna get flanked. 2 most useful things you can do in an SPG outside of just shooting the enemy. I have a feeling this E100's aiming my way. Nope, never mind. Well, they could just cap too. There was that. In this scenario, though, like, we pretty much had this clinch, so it wasn't too much of a risk for them to bypass the cap, but honestly, I probably would have sat on it, because if you sit on the cap, you can shoot almost all the way up to the hill from the cap safely. And say, well, sure you want to do that? Thank you very much, PZ4. Awesome. But at least we got a win here. It's all good, Rajesh. Alright. Nope. No tip for you. Yeah, not a ton of damage, but I definitely... I'm glad that I'm alive at the end there. I got a RU-251. Let me start a raffle. raffle here. Winner's gonna get 500 Levi biscuits, which after this I'm gonna start well, a little bit after this, not directly right away. I actually have a betting question I'm gonna put up here, a little trivia question I should say. Hello Gabastar, nice to see you. Well, yeah, having one guy on cap, it's never a bad thing. It's just you open yourself more options than, you know, just all rushing in blindly. That's why you see me, like, if I have full HP and I'm top tier, I'll have at it and try to kill people. But if I have like half HP, or, you know, I'm in a tank that's a tier or two below the top tiers, or if I see that the enemy has a lot of high alpha tanks or heavily armored tanks, a lot of HP, I'll just plop myself on the cap. Like, doesn't make sense to risk it in my eyes. Just discover the rest of the map here for once. I almost never go down here, but I'll at least do a little bit of spotting here. Keyword is a little bit, because I do not want to get myself stuck down here if they have mediums. Doesn't make sense for me to go alone, especially with encounter mode. Got 2 TDs behind me, but they're not able to, you know, really push with me. M46. Don't want to pop out too much here if I can help it. And I did just that. Oopsie daisy. Didn't get any spotting damage out of that since the TD started spotting that M46 and not me. Should be somewhat safe to peek here now. The M46 is what was... Nope, something else is over here. Maybe they're RU-251. Something else is in like a bush, or I don't even know where, that's spotting me, because it has to be the RU-251, because okay, there we go. Because if it was a medium, I should be able to spot it, since I'm not losing my camouflage by moving around here. Take a couple little pokes here. He's gotta be. Hey, I'm not getting why I'm not spotting him when he's shooting. I should be able to see him. He's somewhere up here from the looks of it. Right, so far both sides are pretty evenly matched up there. I'm still confused. I guess he has just a hair bit more camouflage or something than I do. Or he's behind a bush. The problem I have here is if I round this corner, I can get hit by a TD. Alright, let's make them think that I'm heading this way. Not spotted anymore. This is definitely not 100% safe. I'm gonna get spotted by an RU, but my team up there is doing well, so I'm gonna try to head down this way. I just hope that the TD is not aiming this way. Gotcha. Ah, there's the RU. I don't know if he's been there the whole time, but I'll read that in a second. Gavastar, what you just typed. I see this RU's trying to push in somewhere near me. Of course he's sitting right behind that frickin' bush again. I got myself hung up on the rock there. He's gonna have to push into me. Hey, look out behind ya. Got you two. I'm not really doing too much. My team did most of the heavy lifting, but it feels nice kind of getting the last little hit in as a light sometimes. There's still one tank not spotted. I'm guessing on my right here, but he could still be on my left. Nope. Right near the base. Wouldn't have guessed that one. I think he was over here though. Earlier. But 1700 damage. That's not too bad. Considering I couldn't have pushed out alone on that flank. Wouldn't have made sense. Yeah, I might have been able to beat the M46, but once I took that first big hit from the TD, I was at a huge disadvantage. Whoops, didn't need to type that there. But Mastery Badge second class, not too bad. Did my job, helped those TDs and whatnot on my flank over here. Which congratulations, Gary, on winning the raffle here. Or, uh-oh. Yeah. I thought I didn't type it off there. I don't know why it didn't. I don't know why it didn't say it in the chat here though. Let me. I was saying it said Gary won. Yeah, it didn't type it in the chat. I just drew two other winners too. Which William and Victor. William, you won again. Just in case though, I'm gonna give you an extra 500 biscuits just in case, Gary. That was weird, it didn't say it in the chat from what I can see. It usually always does it. So congrats, 3 people win. Anyway though, let me get to the next tank here, the M46 again. Glad I bought this, it seems to be a popular pick. Let me know how the interest rate is on Levi biscuits. I can print out millions of them here. After this battle, I'll probably start, it's technically called bet on the chat bot here, but it's basically a trivia question to where there's going to be 5 options that you can essentially bet on. You can bet up to 1,000 Levi biscuits. So how you're going to do it is you type exclamation point, I'm pretty sure it's bet, the command, you press space, you pick basically the answers number 1 through 5, press space again, and then you bet between 1 and 1,000 of your Levi biscuits. Make sure you know how much you have before betting. It won't let you, bet more than you actually have. I'm not going to spoil the question yet. That would be kind of funny. Hey, it might help their economy out though. They can get some free Steam games and stuff here. Very tempted to head left here. I'm gonna wait to see what exactly that T-49 sees. Thank you, Victor, for tipping Levi. He will be very happy since he went from snoring facing the door to snoring facing the stream after that last tip. Got the arty. That's my goal. Come on, one more hit, guys. I don't think I'm gonna be able to hit him, which I just got a bug. Awesome. Sorry, the game sounds are gonna sound weird during this match. It's a bug that got introduced with the last patch here. Right now, my headphones, it does not sound very nice in my ears, but sometimes it shouldn't sound too different to you guys. It might just be a little bit quieter, but for me, it like muffles everything, and it actually hurts my ears a little bit. We just got crushed on the hill. That's not good. We really need to start pushing because it's going to be very hard for them to reset that Conqueror. Crap. I was about to say, I know I can't really pen his turret front unless I hit that cupola, but I should have been able to pen his upper plate there. But that's part of the problem. But M46, very good tank, but accuracy is definitely an issue as far as the overall accuracy. While you're moving, you have better accuracy than most medium tanks, but yeah, as far as aimed all the way in, it's still a little bit inaccurate in the grand scheme of things. Basically just missed, what, 5 shots in a row? Could have hit at least 2 of them. I really need to push somewhere. A little bit confused as to why I couldn't spot him. Go, he was trying to get me, very nice. It's just they're not going to be able to get this Conqueror. Yeah, the only choice I have is to push here. It's just, I have a feeling that I'm not going to be able to. Yeah, the FV's coming back now. This guy's here. Not really left with many options though. So unfortunately, it is what it is. I didn't play this perfectly on this side, but it just sucks because I actually like encounter mode on this map more than standard battles, but playing from this side, I would say if it's like a 50-50 chance of you and your team winning versus the enemy team, I'd say for encounter mode and even like standard battles, you're at like a 40% chance, I feel like, coming from the south here, just because it's harder to push the town side, I feel like, and the 1-3 line, depending on if your team actually pushes it hard. For encounter mode, I feel like it's even less because it's almost impossible. Like their Conqueror, he got spotted once and then he gets capped out the rest. It's almost impossible to reset encounter mode, the map or the flag, coming from the south, because you have to push past almost their entire team on that corner in the town. But yeah, I have to, I gotta fix the client here. I just need to, it only does it in battles, but it's a stupid bug. I've got to reset the client now because it introduced it with the last patch to where it doesn't happen to everyone, but if you have certain like surround sound, and I guess it's dependent on like what type of sound system you use, more or less when you hop into battle, sometimes I can hear it instantly. It pops in my head, it drops the sound, and it hurts my ears because OBS shows me it's like a really low frequency or pitch or whatever sound, and it's like constant. The only way I've found to fix it is to restart my client. It doesn't do it in the garage, only does it in battles, but yeah. But the M46, William, yeah, it's a great tank. Like, and it sets you up pretty well for the M48. Hey, little bud. Anyway, though. Alright, let me get this up here. Hopefully I have it set up right as far as the trivia question. So the question is, where did I first start WoTguru.com? And by that I mean, you know, right now I have WoTguru.com. It's my own website. Did I start it out instantaneously on, or first off, as my own website? Did I start it on a different blog, like Tumblr, Blogger, WordPress, Weebly? They're all different free blogging websites. But more or less the way that you vote for it. So you do !bet, press space, pick between 1 and 5, basically from the top down on the screen here. Number 1 is Tumblr, number 5 is Weebly. Press space again. You can bet up to 1,000 Levi biscuits as long as you have them. Think carefully about it. You know, it's going to be up for 8 minutes. You don't need to bet right away. Let me hop into a PvE match here. The Franken's better, so I'll go with the Franken. It has almost every stat on it's better, outside of, I think, HP. But, sorry about that, Victor. But yeah, unfortunately, there's nothing I can fix about it. I looked on the forums and stuff, actually, and to make sure it wasn't like my headset here or like a driver, but it seems like other people are having other problems with it too. But yeah, as far as the question goes, it does relate to, you know, my website and where exactly did I start it. I started it back in late 2011, about a couple months after I, you know, started taking the game a little bit more seriously. But let's see if how many people get this right. But PvE here, it's better to take out all these little minions first, because you're not able, I've said it plenty of times when I play this mode, you're not able to get to Franken right off the get-go, at least safely, and you basically leave a lot of these HP packs down here for later. But it opens up being able to kill Franken when it's more vulnerable later on a lot easier. I actually need to grab a couple of these HP packs. Or not a couple, but just one will be fine for me. But at the end of the basically timer here, if it finishes during one of my matches, I have to set the correct answer afterwards. Discord, you know, more or less it's you know, you can use it for audio for playing during the game. It's basically like a chat room that people use. You can voice chat, you can video chat on it now, actually. You know, a lot of websites, streamers, you know, people use it nowadays because it's free. And, you know, it's basically like having a forum on your website. Like me, I have my own for my website and stream here. However, I'm on a few different ones. Like I'm on Rita's for her stream and website. I use Restream to stream to both Twitch and YouTube at the same time. I'm on theirs. They post updates. You can answer questions or ask questions. Fussbot, the chat bot that I use, I'm on his, and he basically helps people troubleshoot stuff. You can suggest like certain features and whatnot, and basically have direct access to them. So it's just, you know, it's basically like a different interface to either talk with people that you play games with, say if you're in a clan, like you said, voice in a game. You know, it's kind of endless what you can do with Discord. Team picked up a lot of health kits early on, which is, yeah. Gonna come to bite us later on in the match. Crap. The main gun's targeting me. As long as it doesn't actually hit me, I'm fine. Most people don't know you gotta shoot the sides, guys. Like, you can pen certain spots with your main gun, but most of the time you're just gonna bounce off of him. I do not want to pop out all the way here. Basically Leviathan and even the little minion tanks, they auto-aim on you, but specifically they auto-aim based off of your main turret. So if you keep your main turret behind cover, which now I've got to be careful here because he's actually pointing the main gun and I just took a huge hit here. I actually need to, oh lord, this might actually kill me. Need to not get hit by that, but I need to move because there's no cover once he gets around this corner. I'm gonna go pick up a health pack though. But yeah, basically it, you know, it's the newest of, say, like, there's different clients like TeamSpeak, Mumble. There's a bunch of different programs that do the same thing. Discord's just like the newest one of the bunch essentially, and it's specifically targeted towards, like, say, gamers. It's not, you know, restricted by what you use it for when it comes to that, but to me it's the most polished one of all of them, since it's kind of the newest, most updated one. But yeah, like recently, like you said, like you can video chat now, like say Skype, what people use Skype for. That's the newest thing on Discord, to where, like, just not just the audio side of it, but now you can video chat with people. I don't know if it's 100% available to everyone yet, but I know I got a little pop-up saying that I could video chat, which I'm able to pen him with my main gun right now, but it's too far away for my little secondary here. Whoops. Now we have a problem to where he's starting to turn his gun at me. Which I'll set the winning answer for the bet here after this match here. Oh, there we go. We should have this though. Easy damage here. Got a little over 12,000 damage though. Not complaining. Use the tactic every single time. Kill the minions, shoot a little bit at Leviathan, then run back here and shoot him from a distance. So nice little win there. Top damage. Pretty easy going. The only way that tactic doesn't work is if your team basically suicides against a Leviathan and there's not enough tanks to kind of, you know, take his attention off of you. But yeah, that is another nice thing. Discord, it barely uses any resources. Even though it looks pretty, you know, cool compared to, say, like TeamSpeak and stuff. That's pretty just straightforward. But anyway, the betting question here has ended, so I gotta set the winning answer. So the question is, where did I start WoTGuru.com first? Basically, story behind that is 2011. I started playing the game. After a few months, you know, I started taking the game more seriously. I was in a clan, and a lot of people were asking me for advice, help, and stuff. So I was actually one of the first, you know, English-speaking people to start making guides on a larger scale than just posting them on the forums. I started WoTGuru.com after, which I'm setting the answer here. The correct answer was option 2, Blogger, which nobody actually picked that one. I was a little bit surprised about that. The correct answer was that, where I actually started in 2011 on Blogger, which is the Google free platform for blogs. WoTGuru.com.blogspot.com, which after, you know, about two or three months of that, that's when I ported that over to my own website, which is now WoTGuru.com. And yeah, I've been there since. But yeah, the correct answer, I mentioned it a couple times. I haven't mentioned it recently, to where this was one of the tougher little trivia things I did when it comes to the stream, but yeah, the correct answer was Blogger. That was a little bit of a trick question, but I know that I know I've said it a couple times. Gapstar, honestly, the light tanks, I like them. I would say you should go for both, to be honest, when it comes to the Batchat medium and also the AMX 13105. I would say both lines are good. You're just, the 1375 is a little bit weak against higher tiers, but once you get to the Batchat 12T, it gets a little bit better. Chinese mediums, honestly, I wouldn't recommend going for them if it's one of your first lines. Definitely keep yourself to like 2 lines grinding at most, 3 max, or else you're gonna kind of get burned out not progressing, and you're not gonna have enough credits to move on to the next tank soon enough. If you do more than, like, if you have a premium account, I would say 2 max, but 3 if you grind a bit of credits along the way. Hello, Wako. Nice to see you. But hopefully everyone I like doing the little trivia questions. I tried, I asked Ryan if she had one, and her trivia question was how many siblings does she have, but I'm not sure if I've ever said that entirely, so I'll see if she can come up with one for tonight, though. I'm gonna stop myself here. I think it's base experience not for an ace. It's probably because a lot of people are playing them. And that's probably why it's a little bit higher than it should be. But yeah, grinding to the 183 is no easy task. Like, I skipped past, this was when it first came out, but I skipped all the way to the tortoise, to be honest. Struggle City here. I don't know where I want to go. I think I should have just pushed because I took that shot anyway. Because it doesn't look like anyone's going to be over here. So, not that I can get damage off here because they have TDs, but I should be able to light up a tank or so. That's a shot I'm comfortable with. Our team just burned through 3 tanks and didn't really accomplish anything. Oh god. Now we have TDs at our base, which luckily the Borsig's pushing up, but we just threw away so many tanks in the center that kind of ruins my plan right now because I don't have too much. I would say I almost have 0 backup. Like the Type 59 is the closest, but he's not going to be able to save me, say if the AMX 5100 pushes into me. Ew. Strange things, typically bad, happen when you push out and your team dies, which, yeah. This is what I was, not to say I was hoping for this to happen, but I was hoping, like I'm dead here, I was hoping that they would try to push into me, but I had plenty of people that they could start shooting them if they did that. But my team, we lost 4 people. Type 59 pushed over to try to help them. We just lost so many people in this area trying to hammer their way through their tier 9s that, yeah. Unfortunately, that didn't work out. Do I like it? Yeah, I think it's a good tank. It's just, it's a little bit slow. You know, I would say, not to say it's a good tank in the sense when they buffed it, they gave it more armor, more gun depression, and it can actually hold down somewhat effectively now. But its slowness, and, you know, it makes it a little bit hard to get to some places, but in that match there, I don't know. I don't even know where I could have went differently. It just seems like some of these battles I'm getting in, my team's just, you know, we lose like 3-4 tanks in the first like engagement, don't really cause any damage to the enemy, and at that point I'm in the wrong spot to do anything. But feel free to request more tanks, guys. You know, I do have plenty of time here. Like, I'll probably, after this battle, I'm going to get 2 grind matches in before moving on to the next ones. Hey, little bud. Yeah. I'm going to try to get myself in the center here. A little bit pushing it in this tank, but I should be able to get, based off of my spawn spot, into the center. But it doesn't look like anybody else is heading here, so as far as my team, looks like they have a few mediums potentially, like the E50. Ooh lord, they actually have a bat coming in. Are you kidding me? Probably shouldn't have pushed as hard as I did here. Yeah, I'm screwed. Screwed. Shouldn't have done this. I'll play another match in a Kronwagen later. But I should have stopped right here, looking back. But at the same time, I don't know how 4 people out here, they killed the Type 61, but they didn't shoot the Bat Chat 12T. He's the one that did me in. But that's my fault for playing too aggressive. So the enemy definitely did the right thing there and took the center. We didn't even contest it outside of myself. So on to the Skoda T24. I'll play the Kranwagen again after this. There you got that tank. Just typically from that side, you would think that we'd have maybe 1 or 2 more tanks in there. I don't, William. It's just I don't use any mods, so that would require me to actually install something. I don't care for updating them, and yeah, I know it's not too difficult to put, say, like stats for your overall like session up, but I thought about it before. It's just I honestly don't want to see some sessions I have, but it's a thought. I gotta be a little bit careful here, since this is a tier 7 match. My HP is not gonna go pretty much anywhere here. But yeah, most people that you see like posting like stuff on their screen that shows like your session stats and stuff, like for say the day or in whatever hour period, that's a mod that you have to specifically install. Or gaming doesn't have anything that you can pull as far as like say what you've played in the day. I feel down the road they might add something in like that, but as of right now, there's nothing. Artie's probably gonna aim at me here. Trying to slowly wiggle my way this way. Uh-oh. Not gonna go where this M4 goes because I have a feeling I'm gonna get shot from the bottom area. A lot of tanks here. Don't necessarily want to be up here, but the only spot I'm able to get damage off right now. Not a good spot to get tracked. Probably didn't need to do that looking back, but okay. Thought the KV2 was gonna be there, to be honest. Yeah, it's not too hard to install, honestly. I don't deal with any mods in general. Not that I think they're bad or whatnot. It's just don't really care for them myself. I've got enough mods when it comes to my streamer website and OBS and everything over here I gotta contend with. He's gonna get me. Oh well. We're down by 2, but hopefully they pull out a win here. It's just did 763 damage, 411 assist. I was kind of hoping that we could push this a little bit better, but only myself and that one other tank came down. Everyone else stayed on the hill. I probably should have stayed up there, but we're still in this. If they can get this T29 out, he's going to be a pretty big problem. So I'm gonna pop into the Kronwagen again after. Let me get my one other grind going here. Do crew experience one. Hop into the. I'm going the wrong direction. AMX 1390. Then back into the Kronwagen. To hopefully get a better match than that last one. You staring me down? Let's see if I can. For anyone that doesn't know what I'm talking to, my dog Levi. He's just laying there right behind my chair now, next to his wheel. And whenever I like move, he picks his head up like, gonna give me a treat. Hello, Gunson. Nice to see you. Which at the end here, the end of the stream, like I'm gonna go a pinch past 11, which is the typical end time here. I'm just gonna really quick switch the look of the stream for a second to make sure my Overwatch overlay works. I'll be streaming Overwatch tonight. We voted on it last stream for Tuesday night's game. Overwatch won out. I'll be playing that tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So that should be a blast. I'm definitely not the best Overwatch player by a huge long shot. Or, you know, but I definitely have fun most of the time playing it. I don't take it too seriously. I don't want to pop over on this Scorpion. I'm just trying to spot. We got 3 already. Likelihood of them hopefully helping me should be pretty high. So far, though, not so much. I actually should be safe-ish here. Awesome. 1-2 punch there. Just since I'm top tier, I have a little bit more leeway with my HP. Still not going to protect me against, you know, 2 tanks, but as long as I try to conserve some of it, I'll be able to grab gun depression. I gotta, oh lord, I botched that shot. Hopefully they can take him out. I say I should be able to clip the Scorpion. He doesn't have much HP, and the Tiger's a little bit easier to deal with, but get myself to spot the Tiger once, maybe not. Come on. Yeah, little Tiger. Is my arty obviously isn't aiming down this way. Like the T-25-2, he's not aiming this way either. It's just if we can get this open, I can break open this flank. But unfortunately, not really able to do that now. Alright, so we lost the entire other flank. Thank you for tipping Levi Gary. We're actually in a really bad spot now, but go figure. Could have been completely different had I had one other tank up there with me. Because I would have traded my HP to be able to take out the 2 tanks there. Even if I was left with like 100 HP or so, I would have taken that trade. But now I'm kind of stuck at trying to help them. Which, the Scorpion gets pushed. Help them spot and deal damage here. Damage isn't going to come easy, if at all. Hola. There's only so much you can do, though. But I got spotting on my flank pretty well. It's just, unfortunately, the difference between just yourself and having one other person with you is pretty big, where it's not worth the risk had I pushed alone. Especially with the autoloader, to where you have a about 22-second window where you can't do anything. Okay, I'm just trying to get more damage at this point, but unfortunately didn't play this the best. As far as myself, I should have hit that Scorpion with one or two of those shots I missed, but I should have just played that a little bit more aggressively and took my chances trying to kill the Tiger 1. I was hoping to track him. Luckily he doesn't have gun depression, but you live to fight another day. Come at me, Conway. Free kill. I like the French lights. Like, I think specifically they get the best as far as the whole line at tier 9 and 10. But to me, like, the 4-round autoloader, I like it better than the medium bat chats. I got top damager on my team. Not that, you know, it's a loss, so it's not saying much. But I like it better, honestly, than the mediums, because you have less downtime between clips. More or less, you know, the tier 9's a little bit lackluster now that, you know, they've buffed the tier 10 to where, honestly, that's probably going to be my favorite light once it comes to tier 10 lights. They buffed it to 390 alpha. I thought it was fine where it was beforehand, but more or less, you know, you trade a little bit of performance when it comes to scouting. They're not the best pure scouts for their tiers, but I find the smaller clips, you have just enough alpha to kind of be a threat. Not particularly to say like full HP tanks or like heavy tanks and stuff, but I feel like the alpha is just high enough to where lights and certain mediums are pretty afraid of you, because you're able to pump off several shots, try to run away. But like later on in matches, I actually really like them, because compared to say at tier 9 you're playing a RU-251, if you miss one of your shots you're screwed, especially if you're against like a low HP tank. The AMX 1390 per se, because since that's at tier 9 as well, you're able to kind of, you know, have a backup 2 or 3 shots behind that. They won't always be the best, you know, for a certain circumstance, but to me, they trade a little bit of performance when it comes to scouting, which they still scout pretty well because they're fast compared to other lights. But to me, they do a lot of damage. The only other lights I would say that are better as far as damage goes, the American ones when it comes to fighting on uneven terrain, and the Chinese one when it comes to fighting like in more of a city flat setting. But to me, they're balanced pretty well. The weakest part of the line is definitely tier 5 to 7. Like at tier 7, once you get fully elite, it's pretty good, but you're gonna struggle a little bit with penetrating heavy tanks. Gavastar, as far as saying better for anything, it, you know, they're different tanks to where both are good tanks. It's just, it's hard to specifically say whether a line's better than one another. They play a little bit differently. Chinese tanks have less gun depression but higher alpha. The Russian line, you know, lower alpha, better gun handling. Not necessarily good gun depression, but fortunately, pen don't really have the accuracy in pen here to deal with these guys. I'm actually a little bit upset. The heat it is. It's pretty much every tank in front of me I can't pen. But, you know, I find most lines, they're pretty well balanced now. Like, in the grand scheme against one versus another. Like, certain tanks might stand out a little bit more than others, but it just comes down to, you know, the play style that you want to do. Right. This went from being a decent flank to go to now we're basically getting shot by several different spots. This T-54 is kind of, he got himself in a spot and we don't have anyone in the base to hit him, which really sucks. But Kranwagen doesn't seem to be the tank of the day here. I'm gonna try to spot a little bit here. It's just we don't have anyone in the base to hit them from the side. This thing isn't exactly the most accurate thing in the world. Like right now the T-54 is literally sitting in the center of the field. That's what I was afraid of. And nobody's shooting them. Fortunately, I've got to try to contest with... I'm gonna definitely get hit from my left here. Or do I get hit from the left, or does the Meal 2 get me first? It's just a little bit frustrating. Like the Kranwagen definitely, you know, it has its flaws with accuracy, gun handling, penetration, and sometimes a little bit of speed, but plus its DPM's a little low. But, you know, in this circumstance, I got myself in a decent spot for it. It's just, I didn't really take the time to look to see that we had, like, say a TD or something sniping from the base. Had I known that, I would have went towards the bridge a little bit. But I'm just missing shot left and right here. Got 3,300 assist damage, but 0 damage myself. That's last match I'm doing in that tank today, since it's towards the end here. But on to the tier 10 bat chat. I'm just, I'm failing in some tanks today. But I'm not going to be, I should have said it earlier though. Not going to be taking any more requests since it's pretty much at the end here. But I am going to get through all these tank requests. See you, nice guy. Thanks for watching. Have a good day at work. Well, yeah, it goes with any autoloader. The likelihood of you missing a shot or two definitely sucks. But to me, in the grand scheme of lights, they're on par with, you know, the damage dealing lights, the American and Chinese ones. But yeah, like I mentioned it like a stream or two ago about like the Kranwagen, the T110E5 now, to where when the Kranwagen was released, it was pretty well balanced. People screamed that it was overpowered because its turret was so strong given its gun depression and clip. but it was balanced with its penetration and overall accuracy, plus low DPM. Hello, Nikos, Adrian, nice to see you. But unfortunately, with Wargaming mainly focusing on updating some old lines, tier 8 to 10, and introducing the likes of the Super Conqueror here recently, and really buffing the M48A5 a lot, the Kranvagn, even though it's one of the newer tanks, feels weak right now because when it was balanced, or when it was introduced, I should say, the gun, you know, it had its strengths, but it had a little bit of drawbacks to make up for the armor, to where now you have tanks like the Super Conqueror where the turret, it's roughly, you know, not to say immune to shots, but that cupola is really damn hard to hit when it's hull down, if not impossible given if you're in a tank like the same height as it. To where Super Conqueror just wipes the floor when it's versus the Kranvagn. Yes, the Kranvagn is 2 degrees more gun depression, but you're just going to completely blow it out of the water when it comes to mobility, gun accuracy, DPM, to where, you know, even though the Super Conqueror doesn't have a clip, it fires so much faster in the grand scheme of things than a Kranvagn that, you know, just balance kind of goes out the window a little bit. See if I can get this guy to... Nah, he's not going to come over. Well, hopefully that gold went to, it lasted you a bit of time. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Kind of pressing my luck here, but... Go. But it's just, honestly, yeah, World Tanks is still fun, and overall it's still pretty well balanced once you put it in like 15 versus 15 matches. But I just hope that they test things a little bit better now instead of just continually power creeping everything. Well, some of the events on NA, you know, Thanksgiving's a pretty good holiday, or pretty big holiday here in the US, so that's probably why they need to provide a lot of incentives for people to play, I feel like, during certain times of the year. But NA typically gets some pretty good rewards just because, you know, it is really competitive here as far as, you know, there's a lot of games vying for your attention. Where I know that games are available everywhere across the globe, but, you know, World of Tanks is a pretty old game to where, at least in the North America region, you know, people kind of, they like bright and shiny things dangled in front of them, so new games popping out, you know, tend to draw people away. But if you put a 5X, you know, kind of event up, or a super, like, good deal as far as sales, or win this free premium tank or something, it gives people a reason to log in who might otherwise, say, play a newer game. I got myself out here too far. T62A can kill me. I have fun playing the bat chat here. I'm not necessarily good at it, I'll say. I like the tier 9 one better. I just wish that they would have added in... They tried to rebalance the tier 10 bat and people got really pissed. But I kind of wish that for the tier 10 one they would add in a second gun that's more accurate, you know, at the cost of a little bit of alpha damage. Come on, there we go. Because I feel like you have to get a little bit too close, unless you're using heat out of this thing, because heat is ridiculous. You have to get a little bit too close to land most of your shots in this. But then again, people just, you know, like I said, spam heat out of the thing, and you cover up most of the weaknesses of the armor and overall accuracy. I know, I only got 9 HP here. Well, the marathons, they're good and bad. To me, the way that they're designed, like, you can technically get all 3 of them, but I would say unless you're going to be playing for, I don't know, I'd say a minimum, like, I would say for most people, 3 to 4 hours a day, like 5 days a week, you're going to be very tough pressed to get more than maybe one of them. It's just certain days for certain, like someone came out with a chart, I know it's on Reddit somewhere in the World of Tanks subreddit, but certain days the missions, like, they line them up in a way to where it's hard to complete more than just one. So unless you like devote yourself to one tank line, you can burn yourself out. And you know, you do get a cheap tier 8 premium not getting all the tokens, but you know, to me, marathons like this is probably one of the harder ones in the grand scheme of things to get the tank outright. They tend to, you know, to me, change the way people play, and it feels like a straight up grind fest in a bad way. I hope nobody hits me from the left. And I ran into this wall that I run into this way too often. I hate that little concrete wall. Don't have a good enough shot. I would go on the cat, but be a lot of tanks. All they have to do is hit me with an HE shell. I'm better off in like a little supporting role here. I shouldn't be spotted. I should be able to pop up. Little bush. Come on, really? Really? What the hell, I'll help him. I was just gonna shoot the freaking buildings. Like, bro, you just had to pull, like, right in front of me, though. Like, thanks. You didn't even pull behind the bush. Like, I've been killed. Honestly, I learned you can shoot through that because I was killed through it a couple times. I like using it, though. It makes it a lot easier to fight if there's a lot of enemies sitting here staring at you. Because you shooting through that little hole, you're such a small target compared to them, that where it's pretty hard to thread a shot through that hole, regardless of the tank you're in from the enemy team. But let me start a raffle here, since it's towards the end. Which, hello, Saljan, over on Twitch. Nice to see you. Let me start a raffle here, but I'm going to go with the ELC again. Which, second most amount of damage here. Glad we capped out, though. I wasn't going to push in. Let me go with the ELC, and then I have an M41 request as well. Which, tonight, like I said a little earlier, I'll be streaming Overwatch, starting at 9 PM Eastern Standard Time. Should be a pretty fun stream. Yeah, even though it's a competitive game, like I might do placement matches because they do like seasons as far as ranked battles or matches there go. But overall, it's a pretty lighthearted game the way that I play it. I don't play it like get like Grandmaster or Platinum rank and stuff like that, so. Otherwise, though, my next World of Tanks stream is going to be Wednesday night, 8 PM Eastern Standard Time. Which I need to remember here after the next battle. I just need to toggle over to my Overwatch overlay. Yes. I don't always stream on Twitch, but recently I started dual streaming again. It's just sometimes, you know, as long as it doesn't impact the quality here on YouTube, I'll stream on Twitch. I'm never gonna be like a Twitch partner or affiliate because that locks me out of putting my stuff on YouTube within a 24-hour period. I don't think a lot of people know that when it comes to Twitch. If you agree to basically take money from people on there or run ads, they lock you out of any other streaming platform for, you know, 24 hours. Or they don't lock you out, but if they catch you doing it, you know, they basically ban you. But yeah, for at least, you know, the time period now, I'm dual streaming on both since the quality across both are pretty much in line. Like, I don't have to lower YouTube anymore to stream to Twitch. But the only difference between the two, outside, like, I like YouTube because I feel like the quality is better. Everything for the chatbot, as far as like earning Levi biscuits, is here on YouTube. I'd have to completely redo and use a different chatbot, plus, you know, have to toggle and deal with 2 different streams when it comes to rewards. So it's, you know, it's just going to be stuck here on YouTube, which I don't mean to say stuck, but this bot, you only can use it on YouTube, and to me it has the most features out of any chatbot for streaming. Oops daisy. Goes most of my HP. He's gonna get me. Oh, nope, nope, run, run, run away. Thank you, A44. Let me try to help you. I didn't want to fall down into him. Thanks for posting that, Randall. But yeah, I haven't gone around or gotten around to updating everything on Twitch and putting my links, you know, across like my website and stuff. One of these days. I'm a little bit scared today. I thought I'd have to make a vet visit to get Levi some antibiotics. His foot's kind of a little puffy again. But we need to... It seems like whenever I have some time, it gets sucked up by something. He never moved. I know he can see me. I can't really pen him though, unfortunately, with this gun. 90mm, I'd have a chance to pen him, but... Uh-oh, somebody's back here. E25, are you freaking kidding me? Like, I'm not too surprised he's camping all the way back there, but... Hopefully I can run away here. Oh, our team's gonna blow this. They're pushing in without. Factoring in the E25. Congratulations, Floyd, on winning the raffle. I thought the Type 64 pushed. He didn't. Obviously. Got his attention. Stopped him from flanking too. Let's say he can't see me unless I shoot. Unless somebody else spots me. crap. Type 64 got me. I knew he was somewhere back near the base, but oh well. I tried my best, but at the end of the day, that one shot did me in. Basically, once I got frickin' hit that one time, yeah. Thank you very much for the follow over on Twitch. But let me move on to the M41 here. It's gonna be my last match here. Thank you very much, Labobo, for the tip. Whoops, I scrolled past where I needed to go. So, where did that... I think I might have stolen him for a different crew. Did I pick the right one? Yep, there we go. Has been a little while, yes. Unfortunately, sometimes I do kind of touch base with some people, you know, make sure everything's okay, but I can't, I don't know, like, his email or anything. It's one of the downsides I find with YouTube, where when I do, like, in a way it's not a downside, because you have to specifically opt into it, like on your Google Plus profile, I think, or in your YouTube settings, but, like, if I do a giveaway for like a Steam game or something like I've been doing recently, I can't specifically or personally message someone through YouTube and Google. It does not allow you to do that unless, you know, you enable that. You used to be able to, but now you can't, unless someone like puts videos out. You can comment on their videos. That's a option, but that's, you know, public, but you can't specifically like message someone. Go rake more leaves? Not today. It's raining out, so I'm fortunately saved from that. Today is voting day. Ryan and I are going to be voting once she gets home from school here. New Jersey, we have a governor, freeholders, we have a few council people up for election. We got a lot of people to vote for. Unfortunately, it's hard to figure out what people actually stand for in local elections, which is annoying. It took me about 2 hours of digging the one day, catching up on like where people stand. Holy crap, Artie. You're gonna get me in trouble, but this is too good to pass up. Come on, come on. Ah, he still got a shot. I killed him at least. It's all good. You know, whether you watch on Twitch, YouTube, you know. I know some people prefer one over the other, so that's why I added Twitch back into the mix. I know how light tanks work, and I was trying to point at the M46 to get in a peek. Thank you very much, Adam, for the subscription. Uh-oh. The Amex shooting at me, too. Our south is gonna be... Come on, guys. Like, we need to push. I usually don't speak out too much and ping people, like, as groups, but these two guys in the south are gonna die, and it's gonna be all downhill from there. You guys have frickin' full HP. You need to get your little butts moving. I shouldn't have to push in a 380 HP light tank. Just, yeah. We set up decent in the beginning, but after that, you know, we're kind of struggling to adapt here. I'm probably gonna get myself into trouble. There's a challenger. He's not playing, but right now spotting me is actually very dangerous for me. Nice. Do you have a repair kit? Doesn't look like it. Ah, and the SU-152 got me. I saw him, but I didn't think that he was able to hit me. So that's unfortunate. Oh well. This is my last match though, guys. But it's gonna change as far as the screen here, but I need to make sure that... Let me switch to somebody else who's playing. Need to make sure my Overwatch scene here works. Hopefully this switches over. There we go. Looks like it's working to me. Awesome. Except for my webcam. Let's see if I can get that working. Yeah, I'll be playing Overwatch tonight. I just had to test out because I just made this yesterday to make sure I have everything set up correctly. But hopefully everyone enjoyed the stream. Rolling some credits here. Thank you very much for the tip today, Labobo, and also for those of you guys who followed today as well. Don't think my team's gonna win this one, unfortunately. We're a little bit too slow when it came to our lights and mediums moving up, but time to switch back for here, even though, whoop, let me, there we go, fix that. Needed to make sure everything kind of lined up well. It's hard to do it unless I'm live, so. But again, thank you very much for watching, guys. I'll be back tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for Overwatch. Otherwise, my next World of Tanks stream will be tomorrow at night, 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then there's another one Thursday morning, same time as today. Enjoy, Wako. Hopefully there's not too much bugs in what you're programming. But yeah, otherwise, see you everyone. See you Pez, Labobo, everyone else watching here. Have a nice one. I'm not gonna wait till the end here because they're gonna lose. Good to see you, Fevin. Sorry you just joined in here.